Disneyland Holidays 2025. What can you expect this holiday season at Disneyland Park, Disney California Adventure, Downtown Disney, the Disneyland hotels, and more? If you are visiting November 14th, 2025 through January 7th, 2026, you'll be experiencing the holiday season at the resort, which will include new character experiences, special attractions, as well as maybe some attractions that are not going to come back that might surprise you. You'll want to hear about that for sure. And also new character dining, including one inspired by A Christmas Carol, which looks absolutely awesome. There's so much to cover this holiday season. I'm David Vaughn, your buddy who's a little too obsessed with Disneyland, but I'm going to use my obsession for good this time and help you plan your upcoming holiday visit and tell you exactly what to expect. So let's just get right into it. Starting off with Mickey and Minnie in their holiday outfits. They look absolutely stunning in this. And if you maybe notice, they are definitely inspired by Disneyland's 70th anniversary. So Disneyland's 70th anniversary started in summer 2025 and it will continue through summer 2026. So the way that the resort is doing this is super clever. They're incorporating some of the designs, the elements, the fun of the 70th anniversary into the holidays. They already did it with Halloween. And so we're going to continue some of that celebration here. I don't know which pieces of decor will stick around, but we do know that there will be some also mixed in with the holiday decor as well. We will have more characters, including Donald, Daisy, Pluto, Goofy, usually Clarabelle, and also Chip and Dale as part of the entire mix of characters that will get special holiday outfits. And they usually meet guests on Main Street and so much more, but wanted to show you that first because they just look absolutely stunning. But going down here and talking about what we can expect during this holiday season, Disneyland is saying that they're going to bring back wintertime enchantment at Sleeping Beauty Castle. So this is such a cool thing that they do. They actually have individual lights on the castle that actually physically light up. So it's not a projection that you're seeing here. There's 80,000 shimmering lights that transform the castle into a snowing, sparkling wonder. There will also be the Believe in Holiday Magic fireworks show, and typically during the holiday season, these are nightly or almost nightly, especially as we get closer to the holiday season. But just know that you'll probably be able to see fireworks almost every single night, weather permitting. And you will also see other special features around lighting everything down Main Street. You'll see near It's a Small World, usually Frontierland has stuff, and some parts of New Orleans Square. Might even see stuff in Bayou Country, again, lighting up like they did with Critter Country. So it could be in spots in the park. Don't expect the entire park to be covered in holiday decorations, but you'll see a lot of Disneyland Park that way, as well as Disney California Adventure. And we'll get into what all those will look like in a moment. We also got confirmation that a Christmas Fantasy Parade will return. This has been running, I believe, since the mid-90s. I'm kind of surprised we have this same parade every single year. I know they've touched it up a little bit, but people love this parade. So maybe it's just a holiday tradition that people want to see over and over again. I personally would love to see some new floats add to this parade, but if you are just somebody who wants to know what you're going to get, you want that feeling, that holiday feeling that you get when you see this exact same parade every single year, you're in for a treat because it's going to return likely in a very, very similar way, if not identical, as we've seen it in previous years. We'll also know that It's a Small World Holiday will also be back beginning November 14th. And Disneyland also says they're going to do a holiday time at the Disneyland Resort guided tour. And what this is going to entail is it's a 2.5 hour walking tour that will share some of Disneyland's holiday traditions so you can kind of understand what usually they talk about decorating the tree and so many more things. You also get a ride on A Small World Holiday, and there's holiday treats that come with it. I have not done this particular tour before. This is really, if you're somebody who loves to hear facts about Disneyland, learn things that way. Sometimes these facts can be a little repetitive if you are super knowledgeable about Disneyland, but if you're like even moderately knowledgeable, you'll learn a lot of new stuff. If you're deeply, deeply knowledgeable, just a heads up, you might learn a little bit less. And we did see this, by the way, change when they announced that the Halloween tour would come back. They changed the ride. It then became Haunted Mansion. So I'm not entirely sure if all of this will stay exactly the same. We don't even have pricing yet or when this will go on sale, but just know that you also get reserved viewing of the Christmas Fantasy Parade when you book this holiday tour. So you get a little bit more than just a guided tour. You also get a reserved viewing area, and it's not seats, it's just a standing area. I think sometimes you can sit on the curb and watch it, but I have done reserved viewing areas for the parade, and personally, especially if you're going during a busy day like a weekend or closer to the holidays, they can kind of be a lifesaver because you don't have to worry about all the crowding and then the lining up well ahead of time. But typically, I think you see the later time, so you'll see it likely when it's dark or dark-ish out. So just a heads up about that. So like I said, we do know that it's a Small World holiday will return. We already know that for the Halloween season, we're going to see Haunted Mansion holiday, which means that this will also continue at least through January 7th, although sometimes Haunted Mansion holiday sticks around for even longer than after that. We also know that Holiday Fun with Santa and Friends is back in the Fantasyland Theater, and I think this was such a good move. Before, Santa was meeting guests in Critter Country a couple years ago, but then when they changed it to Bayou Country, they moved his character meet to the Fantasyland Theater. And typically, I don't like to make guesses about where they're going to change things up, but I had a feeling they were going to use the Fantasyland Theater for something like this, and it really does work. You just see projections around, there's a Santa meet, there's also other characters you can meet, like you can see Goofy and Pluto here greeting guests. So you don't just get a one character meet, you get a bunch of them with photo ops and everything. So I do recommend that. Also, remember, if Disney photographers are taking your pictures inside the park, which they are usually posted up for these, you can have them take pictures typically with your phone, but also if you get Lightning Lane Multipass, it comes with unlimited photo downloads from those pictures that they take. So that is a really hot tip. If you're even just like, we're not going to do, Lightning Lane every single day during our visit, or maybe we're just not doing it at all, you might want to buy it for one person because then that person will get those photos. And that also includes downloads of your ride photos, as well as anywhere else you take your picture, like in front of the castle. I mean, 35 or so bucks, depending on how you buy it, for a bunch of photos that are going to last you a long time, and you don't have to worry about asking other people to take them. You just have to worry about maybe a little bit of a line. Might be something to think about this holiday season. And then over at Disney California Adventure, we do know that Cars Land is once again going to get transformed into its Maritime holiday version, which means that, there's 3 rides in Cars Land. So they don't do anything to Radiator Springs Racers. However, Luigi's will become Luigi's Joy to the World, which is basically the same ride, they just add holiday music to it. And then also you'll see Mater's Jingle Jamboree, which is pretty much the same thing. They add holiday music to it. It's just a version of a holiday song for Cars Land. But Cars Land gets really decorated all out for the holidays. It looks great during the day. It looks even better at night. And I do recommend taking a couple stops there, once to see it during the day and once at night, because seeing Radiator Springs all lit up is definitely a holiday memory that I really like. We also know that there's going to be a new Jerry's Junk Truck Cone from the Cozy Cone Motel, but we don't know what that means yet. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what that means. Also at Disney California Adventure, Disney Festival of Holidays will return from November 14th through January 7th. So this is going to be, you're going to see the decorations, but you're also going to get live musicians around the place. And people really do love this because it doesn't just celebrate Christmas. You're going to get all kinds of holidays that are celebrated during this time, represented by live musicians who aren't usually cast members. They're usually like hired third party to performance at the park. And there's also unique merchandise and other live entertainment that you might see. So it is really popular. Plus, there's going to be those food marketplaces, which we see here. The festive food marketplaces will be sprinkled in different areas around the park. So typically they have them around kind of the main walkway that you would have, but then there's also different areas that you can kind of check out some of the booths. And they have the fan favorite braised pork belly adobo that they said is coming back in 2025. And then you can also purchase a Sip and Savor Pass, which I do have a video. I should probably link to a video on what a Sip and Savor Pass is for, just so you can kind of get a little bit more knowledgeable about that if you're not familiar. But it's not required. It's just a pass you can purchase if you want to get a bunch of different snacks. And typically it can save you at least a couple bucks. But like I said, I'll link to that video actually in the description so you have a little bit more context about that. And then we also know that Mickey's Happy Holidays will be back. And this is something that a lot of people overlook every single year. This is actually like a parade of characters that goes through Disney California Adventure. And typically you can see a ton of characters like Incredibles, you see Mickey and Minnie in their holiday outfits. You see, I mean, there's just a lot. And usually they're all kind of together at the same time. It looks really cool. The other thing that I will note though is that these character costumes are different than the ones that we typically see at Disneyland Park. So just know that Disney California Adventure will have a separate lineup of character costumes for the holidays. In addition, Mirabel is back with friends and family from Encanto, and the show's called Mirabel's Gifts of the Season, and this was a new show for 2024, and I had a feeling they were going to continue this. They do it in Paradise Gardens Park gazebo area, so not only are you typically able to meet a couple of the characters throughout the day in that area, but mostly you will see them all come out and do some type of performance a few times throughout the day. And then also they're bringing back Miguel and Coco characters for a holiday mariachi, which is near Carthay Circle. And this was a really good show, but it does get kind of crowded, but it looked really, really nice. It was an evening type show, and you will likely see Miguel perform and sing songs. It's a really nice touch and gives a little bit more merriment to the holiday season. I'm glad that they brought them back. We also do know that Disney Viva Navidad is coming back, which is a huge, huge pull for a lot of guests coming to the park during the holiday season. Inspired by Latin American holiday traditions with a Disney twist. It's all super colorful and vibrant. It's really, really fun to watch. And I don't know this year what the schedule exactly is going to be. Disneyland has not given us all of those details just yet. Typically we see this street party happen during the weekends only. That's at least what we had to change up from last year. So I'm not sure if they're gonna bring back just sort of like a limited schedule, or if they're gonna do it all at once and we're able to see it every single day. But we'll have to wait and see exactly what the schedule will be like. So I still have more to talk about, including the character dining, but if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so I can keep you updated with more Disneyland visiting tips. So let's talk about some of this character dining, including what I was telling you about before, which was that Christmas Carol feast, which sounds so cool and so different and pretty unexpected, but in a very good way. So this year at the Disneyland Resort hotels, there's going to be different experiences you can do for breakfast and brunch or for dinner at the hotels that have the character dining experiences. So going through the list, we have Mickey's Christmas Carol Feast, which will be a new experience at Storytellers Cafe for dinner. So this will only be for dinner. It's typically like 4:30 and on. Just know you will meet characters. Here's what it looks like. We have Mickey and Minnie, and then we also have Clarabelle and Goofy as a ghost. We also have Scrooge, which makes sense. Of course, he's got to be there for this. So I don't know if there'll be other characters as well, but this is a very unique experience I have not seen really anywhere else like this. So this is super exciting that it's going to be at the Disneyland Resort like this. And then also during the day, so if you want to go for breakfast or brunch also at Storytellers Cafe, both of these are at Storytellers Cafe in the Grand Californian Hotel. Daisy's Holiday Pajama Party with Daisy Duck and Donald Duck. And it looks like there'll also be Pluto and Chip and Dale. I don't know, again, if there'll be other characters, but this is what that's going to look like. You can also do Goofy's Kitchen Celebrates the Holidays, which is just a holiday version of their character breakfast, brunch, and dinner. It's typically for all three at the Disneyland Hotel. And also, just keep in mind, you don't need to be staying at one of these resort hotels to book this. They let anybody book it. Just know, and you also don't need park admission. So if you are there, let's say that your arrival day is one day, you might want to do the dinner on your arrival day, and then the next day go to the parks or whatever direction you want to go in. But there are different options for this type of experience, which I really do enjoy. And then holiday tea with Santa and Mrs. Claus will be at the Hearthstone Lounge at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa. And reservations for all of this will be available soon. We just don't know when. So I'll keep you updated on that. There'll also be a holiday-themed beverage menu at the Broken Spell Lounge at the Disneyland Hotel, which is the newer, updated, Sleeping Beauty-inspired lounge at the Disneyland Hotel. And this is with creative twists on classics like hot chocolate and eggnog, paired with live jazz music on select dates. So that's a pretty cool thing to know, that there's also going to be live musicians playing holiday music, very likely. And then if relaxation is on your wish list, try the Underneath the Tree signature massage, the Joy of Holiday body treatment at the Tenaya Stone Spa at Disney's Grand California Hotel. So that's cool. They're even going to do a holiday themed massage and signature body treatment at the spa at the Grand. So that's pretty neat. In addition, the downtown Disney district will transform into festive wonderland during the holiday season, brimming with seasonal flavors, sounds, and sights, including a beautiful nightly snowfall pictured above. So one thing that I really like, I didn't touch on before, is that Disneyland Park will have snowfall usually a few times throughout the night, and then also with the fireworks as well. And that's a really cool effect on Main Street to see snow fluttering around you. And of course, it's not snow, it's snope. It's like that foam kind of stuff that looks like snow. But they also do it in downtown Disney, so there will be various times throughout the night that you'll be able to see snowfall like this. And there will also be live music in the downtown Disney live stage. Along the way, discover a slayful and merry food and beverage offerings, from sweet treats to cozy seasonal sips, available at participating locations. So also know that a lot of the shops will have holiday merchandise, they'll have holiday snacks, there'll be lots of different things you can check out at the restaurants. So something to look out for. And as we get closer to the holiday season and we get these lineup and the times, I love to do my monthly updates for you all, where I tell you what you can expect the next month, including ride closures, attraction show times, and so much more. So stay tuned for that, because I'll give you the heads up about that type of stuff. Chippendale's Ornament Trail is also returning this year, which is, so there's special ornaments hanging from trees throughout downtown Disney District, and purchase an activity map, and they're usually like $10 for this map from participating retail locations. Usually World of Disney is one, and then like the Pin Trader store. Embark on your search and exchange the map at a redemption location to receive a keepsake. So basically you pay $10, you find these ornaments, you report back, and it's like usually stickers or something that you stick on to show that you found those ornaments. Report back, and then you get some type of little prize for it. And the secret is you don't actually need to finish the map, but I'll get into more of that later, as we know as well. And of course, Disneyland promises new holiday merchandise for 2025, as well as food and beverages. So sounds like there'll be a lineup of merch you'll be able to purchase at the Emporium on Main Street, Elias and Company in Disney California Adventure, and World of Disney in downtown Disney. So you don't even need a ticket to buy some of this stuff. Also, Disney Home usually has some really cool holiday merchandise that's pretty popular to check out. And it says that this year's merchandise will be inspired by Santa Mickey artwork. So that sounds pretty cool. And only time will tell what kind of holiday treats we're gonna get, but we do know there will be limited time holiday snacks and beverages throughout the Disneyland Resort, which will be at both parks, as well as the return of the Mickey-shaped gingerbread cookie, which is usually a huge hit. Actually, it's like an annual holiday tradition. But what is not coming back? This is kind of surprising. Disneyland originally did say that World of Color Season of Light would return to Disney California Adventure in 2025 for the holiday season. However, we now know that that's not happening. Instead, we're going to get World of Color Happiness still running at the park. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Disneyland 70th World of Color Happiness, the good news is it's not taking a break. It's going to continue. And to be quite honest here, I think World of Color Season of Light was the worst one. And I love World of Color, and I understand that it's kind of got these like holiday feels about it, but I just didn't feel like it felt like it just needed an update. That's all. And I think that this is going to definitely be an uptick. It would be cool if they kind of add a little holiday flair to the World of Color Happiness, but I think a lot of folks are going to love seeing this. So it'll be a really nice touch to be able to see the newer show. It's a lot more upbeat, a lot more fun, and I think it's going to draw a lot more people in to see it, especially for folks who have been during the holiday seasons many, many times. I don't know if that many people are going to want to watch World of Color Season of Light again and again. And maybe this means that next year we're gonna get a new updated World of Color Season of Light or something like that, new holiday World of Color. I would absolutely love that. Disneyland, can we get that? Can we get that? In addition, Tapestry of Happiness, which is a nightly projection show on It's a Small World, which is so cool for Disneyland 70th, will continue through the holiday season. But the Paint the Night Parade will take a temporary break during the holiday season and return sometime in 2026. I will keep you updated. And Disneyland also says the attractions around the resort will retain special touches, and it sounds like for Disneyland 70th, including the interactive Magic Band Plus locations and the Key to Disneyland lock stations will continue. So if you want to try that Key to Disneyland unlock station, that was really fun to do. But I want to know, what are you most excited for this holiday season? Leave them in the comments below. Again, I'm David Vaughn. Thanks so much for watching. Check out these videos to help you plan an upcoming trip and have more fun in the parks, and think about hitting that like button if you enjoyed this video, as well as subscribing for more Disneyland updates.